Across continents and centuries, humanity has looked upward to mountains that pierce the heavens, seeking the presence of the divine. Among them, none shines brighter in the spiritual imagination of the world than Mount Kailash, the legendary abode of the gods. Revered alike in Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and the ancient Bon tradition of Tibet, Kailash is not just a peak of stone and snow. It is the axis of creation, the navel of the universe, where heaven meets earth and spirit meets matter. Its very name, Kailasa, derived from the Sanskrit word Kailasa, meaning crystal, evokes purity, transcendence, and the luminous stillness of consciousness itself. In Hindu cosmology, Kailash is the throne of Lord Shiva and goddess Parvati, the eternal union of stillness and creative energy. For Buddhists, it is Mount Meru, the cosmic mandala of enlightenment, around which all realms of existence revolve. To the Jains, it is Ashtapada, the mountain of liberation, where the first Tirthankara attained moksha. And to the ancient Bonpo sages of Tibet, it is Tisé, the soul mountain, the living heart of their ancestral world. Yet Kailash is more than myth. It is a living symbol of humanity's highest aspiration, the journey from the outer world of illusion to the inner summit of realization. Pilgrims have circled its base for thousands of years, performing the sacred parikrama, mirroring the movement of planets around the sun, each step dissolving the boundaries between the human and the divine. From the icy crown of the Himalayas to the volcanic peaks of Java, from Ellora's rock-cut Kailasa temple to Angkor Wat's celestial towers, the vision of a sacred mountain at the center of creation has inspired civilizations to carve their faith into stone and sky. These holy peaks, whether called Kailasa, Mehru, Seh Mehru, or Sumehru, remind us of a timeless truth that the mountain we climb is not only in the world, but within ourselves. This is the story of Mount Kailash, the abode of the gods, and the enduring idea of the sacred mountain where myth, art, and consciousness unite. A story that spans from the ancient epics of India to the temples of Southeast Asia, from Shiva's cosmic dance to the Buddha's silent enlightenment, and from the Bon traditions of Tibet to the mystical Kailashes of South India. A journey through faith, time, and architecture to discover not merely a mountain, but the spiritual axis of humanity itself. The earliest mentions of Mount Kailash, known in Sanskrit as Kailasa, appear in India's timeless epics, the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. The very name Kailasa, derived from Kailasa, meaning crystal, evokes its pristine and luminous presence. In these ancient texts, Kailash is not just a mountain, but a divine residence, home to celestial beings and the gods themselves. In the Mahabharata, Kailash is primarily linked to Kubaira, the god of wealth. His mythical city of Alaka, said to lie upon its slopes, gleams with otherworldly splendor, and is attended by yakshas, gandharvas, and kinnaras, nature spirits, and celestial musicians. Yet even beyond its association with wealth, Kailash emerges in the epic as a place of meditation, asceticism, and transcendence, a poetic emblem of loftiness, both physical and spiritual. The Ramayana deepens this sanctity. Here, Kubera's tale intertwines with that of Ravan, the mighty king of Lanka. After Ravan usurps Kubera's island kingdom, the vanquished god takes refuge upon Mount Kailash. In a dramatic turn, Ravan pursues him there and seizes his legendary flying chariot, the Pushpaka Vimana. Yet the mountain itself becomes the stage for a deeper cosmic encounter, one that reveals the indomitable force of Shiva, Lord of the universe. When Ravan dares to disturb the divine serenity of Kailash, attempting to lift the entire mountain in his arrogance, Shiva subdues him effortlessly, pressing his toe upon the peak and trapping the demon beneath it. In agony and awe, Ravan sings hymns of devotion for 1,000 years, earning Shiva's grace. This moment, immortalized in sculpture as the Ravan Anugraha Murti, the blessing of Ravan, captures a profound truth. that even defiance can become devotion when directed toward the absolute. By the time of the Puranas and the Agamas, the association of Mount Kailash with Shiva and Parvati had become inseparable. It was seen as the eternal abode of the divine couple, the ascetic and the goddess, representing stillness and creative power. In the esoteric texts of the Tantras, Kailash itself is revered as a Shiva lingam, a cosmic symbol of creation and transcendence. It is from this sacred peak, it is said, that the celestial Ganga descends, first touching Shiva's matted locks before flowing down to sanctify the earth. Over centuries, the identities of Mount Kailash and Mount Meru, the mythic axis of the universe, began to merge in sacred imagination. As Meru, Kailash's four faces were believed to be made of crystal, ruby, gold, and lapis lazuli, each shining toward a different direction of the world. From these sides flowed four great rivers, nourishing the four continents of existence. Thus, in Hindu cosmology, Mount Kailash became not merely a physical landmark, but the very center of creation, the point from which all life emanates and to which all returns. In the luminous realm of Tibetan Buddhism, Mount Kailash, known as Gang Tisé, the precious snow mountain, stands as a radiant beacon of spiritual awakening. Here, amidst the silence of the Himalayas, the mountain is revered as Mount Meru, the cosmic axis around which the universe itself is believed to revolve, the heart of a vast natural mandala, symbolizing the sacred order of existence. At the center of this cosmic mandala, Tibetan Buddhists envision Chukra Sumvara, in Tibetan Demchog, in divine union with his consort Vajravarahi. Together, they represent the eternal harmony of wisdom and compassion, the two wings upon which the soul ascends to enlightenment. To meditate upon Kailash, therefore, is to meditate upon the very structure of the cosmos, the balance of opposites, the stillness within motion, and the unity of all forms that arise and dissolve in the great dance of existence. Legends whisper that even the Buddha himself once gazed upon this sacred mountain, and that the Arhat Angaja still dwells upon its slopes, lost in eternal meditation. But perhaps no name is more deeply intertwined with Kailash than that of Jetsun Milarepa, the great yogi and saint of the Kagyu school. Milarepa, the poet of the Snow Mountains, is remembered for his haunting songs of realization and his years of solitary meditation. Sustaining himself only on wild nettles until his skin turned green, he transformed hardship into illumination. One ancient tale recounts how Milarepa faced a Boan master in a contest of spiritual power, a battle not of violence, but of realization. Through his mastery of the mind, Milarepa triumphed, establishing Mount Kailash as the seat of Buddhist enlightenment. To this day, pilgrims climb to the cave where Milarepa meditated, not merely to touch a holy site, but to awaken a state of consciousness beyond illusion, a journey inward toward the timeless stillness that Kailash itself embodies. Long before the rise of Buddhism on the high Tibetan plateaus, Mount Kailash was already revered as sacred ground by the ancient Bon tradition, Tibet's indigenous spiritual faith. In the Bon language, the mountain is known as Tisé, the 9-story swastika mountain, symbolizing the cosmic axis that connects heaven, earth, and the underworld. Nestled in Puran County, in the southern part of Nungari, this region is surrounded by snow-capped peaks and eternal silence. It was once the vibrant heart of the ancient Zhangjung civilization, the cradle of early Tibetan culture. Here, the national religion of the Zhangjung kingdom, Bonismo, flourished and spread across the land. Nearby stands Kyonglung Ngulkar, the fabled silver palace of the Garuda, believed to have been the royal seat of the Zhangjung kings, not far from the mighty Kailash itself. According to Bon scriptures, the founder of the Boen religion, Shenrab Miwo, Tompa Shenra, was born in Olmo Lungring, a sacred realm within Zhangjung, a name which, in their tongue, means the land where the great rock birds dwell. Historical sources trace the origins of this civilization as far back as the 5th century BCE, describing it as a refined and ancient culture that predated even the Tibetan Empire. In Boan cosmology, Mount Kailash is no ordinary mountain. It is a cross-shaped diamond pestle, a divine structure at the center of the universe. Its summit touches the celestial realm, while its base extends into the netherworld, a spiritual conduit linking all planes of existence. There are two main traditions regarding the origin of Shenrab Miwo. One claims he came from ancient Persia, modern-day Iran, while another, deeply rooted in Tibetan belief, holds that he was born at the very foot of Mount Kailash, from where he spread the Boan teachings throughout the land. For the Bonpo faithful, Kailash is the heart of their world, the sole mountain Bla Rai of Tibet, a living, breathing source of divine energy. It is said that 360 deities dwell upon its slopes, each one a guardian of a day in the lunar year. Among them reign the powerful Welchen Gecko and Nipangse, protectors of harmony and the cosmic order. Thus, for followers of the Boan path, a pilgrimage to Mount Kailash is not merely a physical journey. It is a return to the origin, a walk through sacred memory, back to the ancestral soul of Tibet itself. In the Jain tradition, the sacred aura of Mount Kailash radiates yet another profound meaning, that of liberation and eternal peace. Jain scriptures identify Kailash with Ashtapada mountain, the revered mountain of 8 steps, where Rishabhanatha, the first Tirthankara and founder of Jainism, is believed to have attained moksha, the supreme release from the endless cycle of birth and death. As the Adi Tirthankara, Rishabhanatha embodies the soul's victory over matter, the perfect stillness that arises after countless lives of inner struggle and spiritual awakening. His enlightenment on Ashtapada near Mount Kailash marks the triumph of purity, detachment, and self-realization, the very essence of Jain philosophy. For followers of Jain Dharma, Kailash, or Ashtapada, is not merely a mountain. It is a tirtha, a sacred crossing point between the physical and the divine, between the finite and the infinite. To meditate upon it is to journey inward, toward the same state of liberation that Rishabhanatha attained. Yet like the timeless snow that crowns its peak, the true location of Ashtapada remains veiled in mystery. Some Jain traditions believe that the original mountain of enlightenment has been lost to time, surviving now as a spiritual symbol, a reminder that sacred truth cannot be confined to geography, but is revealed only through inner realization. And perhaps this mystery itself is the final teaching, that Mount Kailash, in its silence and majesty, mirrors the inner Ashtapada within every soul, the summit of awareness and liberation, where the seeker becomes one with eternal truth. Mount Kailash is more than the confluence of religions. It is the meeting point of myth and consciousness, symbol and soul. Whether envisioned as Shiva's throne, Buddha's mandala, the Bon Soul Mountain, or Rishabhanatha's path to liberation, its message is universal, that the journey to the summit is not an ascent through stone and snow, but a pilgrimage within, toward the still, luminous peak of the self. For in every faith that honors Kailash, there lies the same realization, that beyond the forms of gods and names of traditions, there is a sacred center, the heart of existence, where all paths converge and where silence itself speaks the language of the divine.